Hi, it's Dr. Kim Marie. I want to talk about mastering the madness. I've been talking about dark days and when we're feeling down and how we can go into our ebb and flow and we can have our peaks and valleys. This is what I know, that to master the madness of life, as Forrest Gump put it, life is like a box of chocolates, so you never know what you're going to get. It's important to be prepared. It's important to also be present, to not be trying so hard to plan into the future or worry about what happened in the past that we miss the present moment. So when we show up present, that is the best place to be. The best way to get present is taking some deep diaphragmatic breaths, filling your belly with air, and then holding it for a moment and exhaling slowly, letting out the air, just allowing yourself 3 to 5 breaths. Get yourself present and show up. So that's number one. Number two is to be prepared, to have tools, because I've been talking about these practices and tools. It doesn't have to be hard. It can be playful. It can be fun. It can be in the moment. Just having a variety of things that you know in your mind, you already know, bring you back. They bring you back to who you are at your best, right? That's the goal. So I used to talk, when I worked at, for a short period of time, I took a job working at a substance abuse treatment center, intensive outpatient. And so I would do 3-hour groups. And I loved it. And I found myself repeating the same tools over and over, because we would go around and I'd coach each person individually. It was just so great. I loved it. But I found myself repeating myself over and over. And I said, you know what? I really feel like I just need to make a toolbox for you guys. I need to make a toolbox for you to carry around, so that when you forget who you are and you get tripped up, that you have that tool right in front of your face. Because I know, even for myself, it's like we forget who we are, and it's like there's such a block there that you're like trying to reach in the dark, trying to find a tool. So that became a joke, and then they said, well, you should call it the toolbox of life management skills. And I was like, well, that's great. So anyway, I left that position. And one of the clients that I was working with, who I've stayed close with almost all of them, by the way, called me and said, "Where's the toolbox?" And he challenged me to create it. So I did. And so my toolbox of life management skills is a deck of cards. It started as a deck of cards, and there's 30 different tools that I've written that bring you back to who you are. And so what I love about this deck of cards, or any deck of cards, I like angel cards, but any deck of cards, is that you use them when you are in the way, right? Because when we're in the problem, we're in the way. And so the best thing to do is just intuitively ask and pick a card, and you will get what you need to focus on in that day. So I just picked one, and it's reflect, release, replace. So if we were to look at a situation that we were feeling victimized in some way, that card would mean to reflect on what actually happened. What are the facts that happened? Because there are the facts, and then there are the story that we tell ourselves. So what actually happened? So we reflect on that, and then allow yourself to feel it, and then you want to release that feeling, right? So what actually do you feel from that story? This person was rude to me, and it really upset me because it embarrassed me in front of people, and that makes me feel how? It makes me feel like I'm not valuable, I'm not important. All of those feelings. I felt rejected, I felt embarrassed, right? And so it's then deciding to release those feelings. It's deciding to claim who you really are back, because we know that isn't the truth of who we are, right? That is a thing that happened. So it's going into that release and it's actively releasing it, and then it's replacing it with feeling empowered and feeling whole and feeling valued and feeling valuable. And then even just marinating in those times in your life when you feel that way, right? Because we have both. We have both all the time. And it's great that we have this polarity in our lives, because it allows us to really value things, right? If we only had good all the time, we wouldn't know how good it was. So, mastering the madness. The key is to have a toolbox. I mean, there are so many ways that we can do that. Making a gratitude list and keeping it, or making a list of accomplishments and making a copy of it, putting it in your phone, so that when you feel like you're failing, just looking at all the things that you have mastered and remembering really who you are. I love watching inspiring videos on YouTube. I love reading good books, watching inspiring movies, doing deep breathing, doing grounding, doing exercises, doing different tools, just even gardening or cooking a meal and just being present in it, feeling like you are nurturing something, right? So having your toolbox with you is really important, because most of the time what we do when we get tripped up is we put down our toolbox. We put our hands up in the air and we're like, oh, I don't know, I've been trying everything and now this happened. Well, that's called life, and that's what we all have. And it's not this thing happened because you were trying, this thing happened because it's life. Have your toolbox. I mean, if you went to a job and you were a construction worker and you forgot your toolbox, you wouldn't be worth much, right? You wouldn't be able to do much, right? That's the same exact thing. It's just life. It's just a workout. But when you have the right tools and you have the right things to set you up to win, then it's going to be just that. It's going to be a lot easier. So that's my message for today. I hope you have an amazing day. I love you lots. Mwah.